Hi everyone, I'm Ann Lund and I'm the Senior Director of Curriculum and Content at PBS Kids. And I'm excited to be here today to tell you a little bit about my career journey and what I do at PBS Kids. So I started my career journey when I graduated from Swarthmore College. I have a degree in psychobiology and I also got my teaching certification in elementary education. I thought that I might want to teach when I left, and that's what I went to do in Methacton School District. I taught first grade and fourth grade after I left Swarthmore, and I was at Woodland Elementary School, and I was there for a couple of years, and I realized that it wasn't exactly fitting with what I wanted to be doing, so I decided to go to graduate school. I went to UMass Amherst and I got my master's degree in developmental psychology, and that's where I started studying children and television. From UMass, I moved to New York City and I was a freelance researcher with Sesame Workshop, where they make the show Sesame Street. And as a freelance researcher, I wasn't working for them full time, but I was working on projects as they needed me, helping them test shows with kids and with any other support that they needed in the areas of curriculum and research. From Sesame, I went and took a full-time job as the director of research and curriculum for the show Little Einsteins. So I worked with advisors on that show, and I helped writers with knowing how to integrate the music curriculum for the show, and then we also were testing all the stories with preschoolers in and around New York City. From there, I went back to freelance research when that show ended, and I also was doing freelance curriculum consulting for places like Nick Jr. and Back at Sesame again, and other places that needed support in those areas. For example, I wrote and helped implement the curriculum for the Fresh Beat Band, which was a music curriculum. And in about 2014, I got a call from someone at PBS, and they were looking for a director of curriculum and content. And my background and the work I'd done before really fit with what they needed. And I applied for the job and I was hired. And this slide shows some pictures of like the building where I work in Arlington, Virginia, and some of my colleagues and some of the producers and creators that I get to work with, like Chris Kratt from Wildcrats, and Sonia Manzano, who is a creator of one of our new shows called Alma's Way, who you might know better as Maria from Sesame Street. And this job at PBS really has been a dream job for me. It's where I get to put together all the knowledge and skills that I've developed over the years in school and in my other job experiences, and it really is a lot of fun. I work with really smart and interesting people. I get to be creative along with my curriculum work, and I learn new things every day. And the really exciting part is that I get to help kids across the country learn in really fun ways through the videos and games and activities that we create. So PBS Kids can be found in lots of different places. We make shows and games for kids who are ages 2 to 8. And you can find our video on our different video services. If you tune into WHYY on your television, you will find PBS Kids, or you might find it on our 24/7 channel on your television. You might find us on our video apps, maybe through your Roku device or your Fire Stick, or on a tablet. You might also find PBS Kids on YouTube or pbskids.org, and you can also find our games in our Games app. We really try to be everywhere that kids are, and so that they can find us anytime, anywhere. Not only do we want kids to be able to find us, we want to represent all the kids in America in our programming. So we really develop characters and stories that kids can see themselves in. We have lots of different kinds of content at PBS Kids. We have video content that might be long form or short form. Long form videos, stories are usually around 11 minutes long, and short form stories are shorter. They're maybe around 1 minute or 3 minutes. We also have lots of games that you can find either in an app or online, and we have some podcasts. And we also do make some content and activities for parents and for educators too. So what do I do at PBS Kids? So one of the things that I do is I create PBS Kids learning frameworks, and I help make sure that all of our shows, games, activities are teaching something. So it might be math, like in Odd Squad, or the arts, like in Pinkalicious and Peterific, or social studies in Let's Go Luna, or even science in Eleanor Wonders Why. We even have shows that teach social and emotional learning, like Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. I also work with the producers who are making the shows and the curriculum experts and advisors of the games and activities and videos. Another thing that I do is to review the shows and games while they're being created and being made or produced, and I give feedback on the learning goals. So I read scripts and I watch early forms of the videos like animatics. I also look at game design documents and early thinking about the games. I also help our parents and education teams with talking about how our shows help kids learn, and our games too. And I support research for shows and games, and we do lots of different kinds of research. One kind called formative research helps us learn about whether or not the stories or games while we're making them are working in the way that we hope they are. And other types of research called like summative research are ways that we see if kids are really learning from the shows and games that we've made. So that's just a really quick overview of my career journey and my work at PBS Kids, and I hope that this maybe has inspired you to think about a career in children's media. Thank you so much.